you.
Okay. So today what we're talking about is reducing equivalent fractions. So all of these problems have answers, or this already is just a problem that we can reduce these fractions. So does anybody either remember how to reduce fractions from your earlier lessons of your life, other grades, or do you want to step in and reduce any of these that are up here? Okay.
I think to reduce, you have to find a number that goes into both of them that will divide evenly.
That's true.
So it's like for 6/8, it will be 2, and
Yeah.
then that will become 3/4.
This will become 3/4. So what we're going to do here is we're going to divide the top by the 2. We'll divide the bottom by the 2. I don't really care if you write that on your work or your page. You can if that helps you. But we need to divide the top and the bottom by what Eli said. There's a number that goes into both, and that has a math name that we did learn this year. What is it called, this number that can divide into both of them? Something about factors.
Is it greatest common factor?
It is the greatest common factor. So for a problem like this, what's a number that could go into both of those? 2. What's a bigger number than 2 that could go into both of those?
32?
32 won't do that.
12?
12 can do both of those. So it doesn't matter necessarily to be right or wrong if you find the biggest number right away, but if you do find the biggest number right away, you're going to be done fast. Okay? If you want to reduce this by dividing 2 and dividing 2 and dividing 2 and dividing 2 and dividing 2, you could do it that way and you'll eventually get to the right spot. But when you do your first division, you're better to think of a bigger number if possible. So like with 8/12, what's the littlest number that goes into them? 1. Other than 1, who's next in line as a little number that goes into them? 2. So if you're not great at GCFs, what you could do is divide by 2 at first. This would get you 4. This would get you 6. And then you ask yourself, can I go again? Is there anything that could go into 4 that also goes into 6?
2.
The answer is 2. So divide the top by 2. Divide the bottom by 2. 3. And ask yourself again, can anything go into both of those? And the only thing that can is 1, and 1 doesn't help us. So we could get to 2/3 by making 2 little jumps. What's a bigger number that can go into those than 2's? 4. So if you right away thought of 4, you'd have made the jump the whole way to the answer, and it doesn't really matter for being right or wrong, but if you want to get the homework done quicker, think bigger. So for 10/20ths, who's little that goes into both? 2. Who's medium sized that goes into both? 5. Who's the biggest number that goes into both? 10 itself. So if you want to do this the quickest way possible, just divide by 10s, and you'd get
1
and
2.
2. If you did it in a bunch of baby steps, that's okay too. Sometimes you have to do it in baby steps. I don't think very many people are going to do this one in one big jump. Okay, it's probably going to take you a few little steps to get that one reduced. Somebody with a hand who can help us here?
6/7.
It is going to be 6/7. Who did the dividing there for you? 2 did. Question about what we've got so far. I'll look at some of our quiet people who haven't talked so far. Do you understand what we're doing with that? Everybody else is talking, I think. Take a second, grab a scrap of paper, and try to do 96 and 144. And it's going to take you a little bit. Just kind of jump, 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 go, go, go. Let me know where you end up as a final shot.
audit,
All right, what do you think?
or 2/3.
I'll say maybe, and we'll wait for some other people to, like, get there. And if everybody keeps saying that, then that's probably right. If other people have other opinions, then we'll check it out. So maybe 2/3, we say. The paper I just slipped you says quiz. That's not a quiz yet. We're gonna fill that in to make a study guide.
Oh.
Got something?
Without reducing, I got 8/12s.
Okay, so he says 8/12. That's your final answer, or it goes, does it go more?
Oh, well, yeah, I can keep reducing.
Okay.
I got 2/3.
So he says 2/3. Got 2/3.
Yeah, it's 2/3.
Agree with 2/3. So we got 4 people all agree, so I might as well just say, I agree with that. How far are you right now?
I got 2/3.
You got there? Are you partway through?
Yeah,
Where are you now?
9/12.
Okay, something happened funny getting to there. What did you have to step before?
I've been doing, like, oh wait,
Do you see a mistake?
yeah,
8/12 maybe?
8, yeah.
Would you agree with 8/12? Because that'll make the jump to 2/3. You need some help to get the jump made, or do you understand where we are? You okay, or need help? Hello?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand more additional.
12/10. 12/10 is different than all the ones we did before it. How is 12/10 different than the ones we did before it?
It's an improper.
It's an improper fraction also. So you have a choice here. You could do what we did yesterday first and fix the improper. If we fix the improper, what mixed number can we make? If we do 10 into 12, what would it be?
Oh, I wasn't raised.
Okay.
It's 1 and 2 tenths.
It would be 1 and 2 tenths. 10 into 12 goes once. The remainder is 2. We leave the bottom the same. And then we could reduce that. Who can help us with 2s and 10s?
It's 2.
It's 2. Divide those both by 2, we get
1 and 5.
1 and 5. If you wanted to do yesterday's lesson first with impropers and then today's with reducing, that's fine. If you wanted to do today's reducing first, that's fine too. Who can go into 12s and 10s? 2. 2 into 12, just yell anybody?
6.
6. 2 into the bottom is 5. Now we can do yesterday's thing second. 5 into 6 goes 1 with a remainder of
1/5.
Okay, so the moral of the story is, if it reduces and it's improper, you have to do both things. But it does or doesn't matter what you do first.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. So if you're, whatever one you're better at, probably do that first. If you're better at the set H homework, divide bottom into top. If you're better at reducing, reduce. That's up to you. The final 3, we have a problem to do first, and then we'll need to make the answer better. So if we do 7/8 and 5/8, what would be the first answer that we would have in our brain or jot down on our paper?
12/8.
It would be 12/8. We want to go 7 plus 5 is 12. And when we add, we need a common denominator that includes the answer. If that were 3 days ago, I'd be totally happy with that. But it's not 3 days ago anymore. There's 2 things there we need to fix. One, it's improper, top is bigger. Second, we can reduce that with what number? 4 or 2s, whatever, but we need both of those. Somebody break that down, 12/8 into something new?
1 and 4/8,
1 and 4/8 is better.
and then it would become 2 and 4, it would become 1 and 2/4.
1 and 2/4 is even better. There's a best still out there. What's better than 1 and 2/4?
1.5.
1.5 is going to end up being our best possible answer on that. Do you understand that? Last
Yeah.
jump? Question about that one? Anybody? Okay, divide, what was our trick with divide we talked about a few minutes ago? How do you divide fractions?
Flip it upside
You
down.
flip the second fraction. So this one goes upside down. Then it became a multiply question. So we don't have 3/11ths, we have 11/3. Divide becomes multiply. How do we multiply?
Just straight across.
Straight across. So straight across the top makes,
66,
bottom makes,
33.
and that's improbable. Or it reduces, or however you want to look at it. What's our best answer off of that? 2 is correct. The bottom divides into the top and goes twice. Anybody need more info on that? Last one of the day. Somebody at first add this up. We get an answer that's not the best answer, but it's progress. We'll take it. What's the next step to this?
5 and 6/4.
5 and 6/4. 2 and 3 makes 5. Leave the 4 alone when we add. Add up those tops at 6/4. Ignore the 5 for a second and just focus on 6/4 and making 6/4 better. There's a couple ways you could make 6/4 better. What's one thing 6/4 could become?
You could make it into 1, well, yeah, you could, divide them so you get 1 and 2/4.
Okay, we could take 1 and 2/4 for that. Bottom into the top goes once, 2 leftovers, so 1 and 2/4 is decent. Can you make 1 and 2/4 better?
Yeah, you can turn it to 1/2.
We could turn that into 1.5 by reducing. And then remember, under my hand that whole time, there's been a 5. So what's the grand total then?
6 and 1/2.
6.5. Anybody question about any of the types of things that we have there? So here's what we're going to do the next couple minutes is make ourselves a study guide. So I gave you a paper that says fractions. There's a bunch of questions on there. We'll start to do this as a quiz next week. What the quiz will have is these exact 11 questions. Maybe I'll change the order, maybe I won't. It depends on which day it is. But these 11 questions will be there with maybe a different order. And then there will be some problems like the ones behind me that fill in those other 5 spots. So we'll fill in 5 problems each day to just do what we're doing there. So most of these answers we've talked about through the course of the period today, but just to make sure we have it, let's make ourselves a study guide. So 1, if we're going to add fractions, what is the thing called that we have to have if we're going to add fractions?
Common
It
denominator.
is a common denominator. So spelling on that is C-O-M-M-O-N, all O's there. And then denominator we should be used to or getting there is D-E-N-O-M-A-T-O-R. Somebody else, if we're subtracting fractions, what do we need?
Common denominator.
Yeah, a little bit of a trick question. I went at you twice with the exact same thing. 2 is again common denominator. So again, I'll spell it C-O-M-M-O-N D-E-N-O-M-I-N-A-T-O-R. 3, multiply. We just talked about a minute ago. We can do that with 2 words. What's our multiply 2 magic words? Straight across. So straight is S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. If you forget the GH, that is another word that has to do with geography and like a little bit of water that goes through a really skinny place, but that's not what we want. We want the GHT ending, S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T. Across has single letters until the S is at the end is a double. It's A-C-R-O and then a double S. The S is the only double letter. 4, dividing we talked about today already. Dividing, what was the magic there?
Keep, change, and flip.
Yeah, we want to flip the second fraction. So you could do that a bunch of ways. What you said there is fine. What I tend to say is flip, F-L-I-P, second fraction. So FLIP, second fraction, works for me, but there's other ways you could say that. Reciprocal was the word I baffled you about a couple days ago. It took us a while to come up with the reciprocal with that word. What was the reciprocal? What was that about? It's a flipped fraction. So the flipped is an adjective built off the word flipped or flip. It's going to double the P. So 5 is FLIPPED fraction. So 5 FLIPPED fraction. The day we did that, we learned a fact. If we take a fraction and we take its reciprocal and we do a thing to them, the same answer always happened. Anybody have a memory on that? I have a fraction, I have its reciprocal, I somehow math them up, and always the same thing happened.
You get 1.
If you do what math to them?
If you add them. Oh no, if you multiply.
Multiply them. So 6, I'd say if you multiply, it makes 1. If you multiply, it makes 1. I've had people on this quiz spell multiply wrong. There's really no reason to spell multiply wrong. Why should everybody spell multiply right, other than it's a word you should know, but why should nobody on this quiz ever misspell multiply?
You've been using the word since like 3rd grade.
Well, that's true, but even other than that, there's a really great reason why multiply shouldn't mess you up.
Because you can split it into 2 words. Multi.
Well, that's true too, but there's a reason you could use the quiz almost to cheat on the quiz. How could you use the quiz itself to not spell multiply wrong?
The multiply's on the quiz.
It's in there. It's number
3.
Number 3. Number 3 has the word spelled for you, so you shouldn't spell multiply or divide or fractions or those words. They're in there, so don't spell words wrong that are there. 7, bottom part of a fraction we've been doing for weeks and weeks. Bottom part is called the denominator, so 7, DENOMINATOR. Top part, numerator, NUMERATOR. 9 is yesterday's lesson. When the top was bigger yesterday, that's called
Improper fraction.
improper. There's no double letters in that. IMPROPER. IMPROPER. 10 is how we did set H, how we did some stuff today. If I throw you an improper, if the book throws you an improper, how do you change it? What's the process there? Divide the bottom into the top is perfect. Divide bottom into top. You could also say divide the top by the bottom. That's a different way to say the same thing. Just be careful how you say it, because dividing it matters what order you say the words. So divide the bottom into the top works. Divide the top by the bottom works. Just be cautious. And 11, we should be able to successfully copy from the board, because 11 is up here showing still. Reducing fractions is dividing the top and the bottom by the GCF. Dividing the top and the bottom by the GCF. That's probably the hardest answer. A, because it's the newest answer, you've only heard that for one day. And B, it's probably the most words of any of those answers. So that one might be the one that you study just a smidge longer than the others. We'll take this quiz, I'm going to guess 5 times, maybe more. So the first time we take it will probably be the day back from break, Tuesday, if there's time. I'd like to. If you have mistakes on this, I'll do what I always do, which is have you write them. How many usually on the first run? 5, just to try to get that in there. If you still miss them the second day, 10, miss them the third day, 15, and then we'll just quit writing that, but we'll probably take the quiz more than 3 times. I would guess 4, 5, 6 times. So your best strategy is get a good initial study in. Basically, don't miss anything for Tuesday. A, it helps your grade. B, you don't have to write anything, and these words are going to be around. So if you dominate the first one, you should be in good shape for a while. Does anybody want an empty one to take? You could use it to practice it if you would want to do that. So one that way. Is that a hand or a stretch? Okay. Can we send 2 that way? 1 this way. Anybody else want to take one to practice that at some point?
No.
Okay, so if you're a writer-downer person, here's what's going on for next class is study for the fraction quiz. And then the second thing we have the homework. It's gonna sound crazy at first, but just wait till I'm done and it isn't gonna be that bad. But homework, we're gonna go and do set I and set J and set K, but don't go crazy yet. We're just gonna do the even ones. And so set I, set J, set K, a little bit of all three sets. Just do the even ones, and it's really no different than what we usually do. In set I, how many even ones are there? The set is 25 total. How many of those are even numbered problems?
I wanna say 12.
12 is right. So set I has 12 even numbered problems, 2, 4, 6, up to 24. How many does J have?
Well,
12. And K is gonna have, altogether that makes 36. That's no more than we usually do, because usually we've been doing a 25 plus some,
numbers, and usually the numbers
Usually
are like
some-
4, so it's basically the same.
what have we been doing other than the 1 to 25s usually? Some letters, some ABCDs here and there. So if you take the normal 25 plus a couple letters, it should be the same size. It sounds crazy at first, but it's not. So I, J, K, just the even ones, that's the homework thing. Study the fraction vocab, that's where we are. Any questions before we cut off? Can you cut that off for me?